information, check out the details on all our social media handles.
Preston Lotto is your time.
Please
upgrade your lifestyle.
All right, thank you very much for still being there with us. Our early advertised talking points coming up next, and we shall be looking at amnesty program in the Niger Delta, changing the mindset of ex-militants. We said they're not ex-militants, or they say they're not ex-militants, they're ex-agitators. Well, some of them have been undergoing training in different parts of the world, and of course in home country as well, training ranging from pilot training to marine engineering, marine welders, fish farming, and some have excelled academically as well.
And foreign investors outside the country. However, the starting point is the first thing is to de-radicalize them and change the mindset of these individuals.
Absolutely, and one person who has been very involved in this DRAD program to prepare their mindsets for reintegration to society is here with us. She's an author, activist, designer, model, actress, and image consultant, and presently working with ex-agitators to address their state of mind. Empress Eeefy is a communication director, Jadisco Agricultural Training Center, and founder Eeefy Patriot Movement. Eeefy, good to have you here with us.
Good to be here. How are you?
Well, very well. Missed you. It's been a while.
Honey, you look amazing. That hairstyle, like yum yum. Oh, and don't be jealous because you look amazing as well.
All right, let's start with mindset, Eeefy. What would you define as mindset from somebody who is an expert in the field?
Well, it's how you perceive life, the way of seeing things. Some people would see even light in the dark, and some people would just see darkness, period, and start to panic, right? And then some people, because of the problems they've been through, because of their negative experiences, they will only see negatives, only negativity in everything. Even if there's so much positive there, they tend to focus on the negatives.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's why it's important, it's critical that we address issues that stifle people's emotions, that we address issues that impede growth, deter progress. If we do not address them, I'm sorry, even people who haven't experienced excruciating struggles still have very bad mindset, poor mindset, I say. And one thing I've observed in Nigeria as a people, we suffer from what I called poverty of the mind. And poverty of the mind allows us to constantly see the impossibilities. This is impossible. You can't do this. This will not happen. They will not believe you. They will not give you a chance. We only say things that are impossible. We only think things are difficult. We only think we can't. I can't. They have to help me. We tend to see all of the solutions in other people, but we never see the solutions are actually internal.
So let's look at issues, because you raised something really critical here. You talked about mindset of persons, especially people who probably have not even experienced, so much hardship. But then you also find out that certain, professions like the medical profession will define certain mindsets, mindset failure as clinical. And you have also said that first thing to address is the environment, where the person is coming from. In Nigeria today, what would you, classify as the average mindset of a full-blood Nigerian?
Oh, well, first of all, majority of Nigerians suffer from low self-esteem. And that, reflects in their attitude. I think majority of us have very low, poor mindset. Very poor, even the rich. Be careful, because you have a lot of money and because you live in a mansion and you have this array of expensive cars, doesn't mean that you have a rich mindset. So I would tell you that here, in this country, we suffer from that poverty mentality.
You've been working with ex-agitators, helping to change their mindset and have a different worldview. Tell us experience.
Well, you see that laissez-faire attitude in Nigeria, where we don't understand structuring, we don't understand building, we don't understand self-development, self-empowerment, and of course we complain a lot, but we're complacent, and there is this spirit of dependency. there is this spirit of entitlement. These are all my observations, and that's why we struggle with, what will I call it, slow progress or stagnancy. Like, my goodness, there's so much stagnancy in this country because we depend on others, because we can't be accountable, we can't be responsible. We think others have to, government have to, my parents have to. What about you? See, I asked this question to those students, what about you? What about the responsibility you owe yourself? Yes, government is there. I have to continuously emphasize on this. Government is a small entity created by the people to structure society. Government is not completely responsible to develop you, to empower you. They will structure, they will enable the environment for you to empower yourself. But it is your responsibility to develop yourself and to empower yourself. So if you are not interested in becoming somebody important, you're not interested in living a purposeful life, you're not interested in knowing, acquiring knowledge, it doesn't matter how structured the environment is or how much money your parents give to you, you still will not amount to anything.
Talking about the context of where most of them come from, I mean, these exegetators you deal with, where they come from, a lot of them have this mindset that the environment and even their lives has been bastardized and raped by the government, and so they come at you very aggressive. How do you deal with that, since you're an expert in mindset and transforming thinking?
There are two things. Yes, they haven't been dealt with, a good deal. Because of all of the oil and all that stuff. But I also observed something. Even when government reaches out, even when all the private sectors, reach out to help, they have their chiefs and their authorities and their greedy people that take away everything and never really do what they ought to do or what they're supposed to do. So then what will government do? Even when they've reached out to you, but you've done nothing with it. They have people they've given money to, they've given, positions to, to drive progress in that environment, to cultivate the wealth they have there, but the people did not do it. And that's why I go back to the mindset. Because government they're not machines. Government officials are not machines, they're human beings, just like you, right? So they're not going to do magic. They're not God to do magic. They can offer you, a platform. What do you do with the platform? So I needed to talk to them to understand it. That, it's like some of them come in classroom, they're thinking of how much money they can make. They're not really interested in learning and growing from there and building, because they don't have the discipline and patience to nurture. Because to build legacy or to build a big business, you need discipline, you need to nurture, you need a spirit of perseverance, you need to be able to think. And we're lazy thinkers here. You need to be able to plan, you need to be patient, you need to go through the process, and they don't want to go through that. They just want to be given the money and then they squash the money. So what I say to the Niger Delta youths, and I say this to all the Nigerian youths, it's not about gimme, gimme, gimme. It's about you giving yourself. Because you cannot give society what you don't have, and people cannot give you what you can't sustain. Government gives to Niger Delta, but Niger Delta hasn't been able to sustain it, because Niger Delta needs to change its attitude, just like all Nigerians need to change their attitude, so that when they're given, they can execute the things that they need to execute. They can do and change the things that I need to change. But how can you even do these things when you yourself, the human being that is driving it, is messed up?
How has been the response like since you started working with them?
Well, thank God, because there's a lot of them that are remorseful. A lot of them that are, actually trying to retrace their steps. I have to say that. I observe that. And they need to be encouraged. Programs must be completed. That's one thing I can only say to government. When you start these programs, please complete it.
Absolutely.
You training and empowerment, don't just train and don't empower, because they will revert back to their old destructive. Yes. So we get them, we change the mindset, we train them, but you must empower them, because you acquire education, you go to school, you graduate, masters, PhD, and all of that, and when you come out, there's no employment. What do? That's how people indulge themselves in destructive activities. Yeah. Yes, but I still say to those people, you can now create something. You can create employment. You can, develop other skills, other practical skills, and help develop, and help create the employment that you need for yourself and for other people. That's how you drive the progress of a nation.
Okay, let's look at the leadership in the first point of call. I mean, I once read a book by Carol Dweck's, classified mindset as fixed mindset and growth mindset, where you find the growth mindset is somebody who takes responsibility of their actions, and even when they get criticism, they look at the ups and downs and take the plus signs from it. And then you find fixed people who are always blaming somebody else for their own nemesis.
Now, and they're set on their way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let's look at the leadership and see if we can even begin to talk about twerking their mindset, because again, you find out that the reason why a lot of them perhaps do not even come to full circle with keeping promises is because of their mindset. So do you think that a first point of call for this sort of mental reorientation and revolution is to perhaps take this training to the leadership and let them understand that the mindset of the leadership also finds its way to generating those people that they rule?
It's amazing, because I had a seminar on Saturday. It's about self-esteem, and one of the people in my seminar said that to me. He said, take this seminar that we just experienced here to the government, because they need to hear it. Yes, because again, remember, these government officials are human beings. They're not machines, so they're not superior. We're the ones that make messiah out of them. So they suffer also from the poverty mentality, low self-esteem. And listen, if you are proud, you're given a position of authority, and if you have a healthy self-esteem and you're proud of your work, or you take pride in your work rather, you would want to serve the people, because that's what you're there for.
Absolutely.
You want to serve, to nurture,
to give back.
You want to give back. You want to build. You want the progress. You will do anything. You will harness talents. If it takes you to bring everybody else to think for you, you will do it. Because remember, what makes a great leader is not that the leader is the most intelligent or the one with the biggest vision, but that he has the willingness and ability to harness talents around, and that he is willing to give opportunities, to give platforms, that he is able to recognize that other people has what he doesn't have. So they need to change their mindset. We need to change this mindset of deity. I'm a god, I'm authority, I'm this, I don't have to do that. Who cares? And Nigerians, we don't hold our leaders accountable for anything, because we can't even hold ourselves accountable. Absolutely. We're all looking for opportunity to go there and do the same thing, go there and steal, go there and do whatever, go there and repress people. We all look for that because we think about hustling. The spirit of hustling is the spirit of corruption.
Because of low self-esteem, those who can afford to help you do a better job are also repressed.
As they don't, because they're low, they feel low. I say, if you are truly a king, you would want to nurture your subjects to become something great. That's what makes you a real king.
And that's what mindset training is all about.
Exactly.
Empress Eeefy, thank you so much for your time here.
Thank you.
Good luck to you in your job you're doing.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll go over to our Lagos Center now. Discussion is up. Boys Brigade, I used to hear about that group a long time ago. I don't know how active